Press this button. Oh, hello. There we go.
Brian, you can see from the diagram, right? Each tank feeds the engine, its respective engine.
Yep. I'm going to actually go and recline this seat here. Okay, what's better than new car smell? How about brand new airplane smell? Just a year ago, we were in Hamburg, Germany at the Airbus factory, and we saw this exact plane being built. It had hundreds of kilometers of wires in it. It was basically naked. Well, guess what? A year later, this is it. This is here right now. This is Air Canada's very first Airbus A321 XLR. And we're not going to give you a little tour today. We're going to give you a big tour of this new airplane and how it can actually help in your travel plans. Our first video of this trilogy was at the Airbus factory in Hamburg, Germany. On part 2 here, we're exploring everything new to this A321 XLR. So let's jump into what Air Canada is calling their new glowing-hearted cabin first on this latest generation plane.
That cabin on the 321 XLR is the first cabin that we're finally showcasing to our customers, with the glowing-hearted strategy. So what's glowing-hearted? That's the new standard for Air Canada across all cabins, but also across all touch points with our customers. When it comes to the soft product, when it comes to the lounge, for example, you're going to see all those touches. What does it mean? It means like we want to bring in our lounge, in our cabins, the warmth and welcoming spirit of Canadians. And we want to, like our customers, in any cabin to have, that experience of a welcoming and nice touches, across, all touch points.
This new cabin is very spacious with a total of 182 seats, 14 in full lie-down signature class and 168 seats in economy. One of the stars of the show definitely has to be the new signature class cabin in the 321 XLR. This is the first in Canada to have a lay-down type of pod for a narrow body plane. And I gotta say, I just flew in a Dreamliner just last night. And first thing I noticed is the width. That's the problem I normally have with the pods, is that they're not wide enough. But so far, it feels really, really good. Let me give you a little bit more of a tour though. Now let's start with this screen. It is massive. This is a 19-inch 4K display. They're using the Panasonic Astrova system. Now this one will actually have to be pushed in on takeoff and landing, but look at the resolution and size of this. This system is very, very quick as well. If I wanted to say launch a movie, look how fast this is actually operating. It's lightning speed. It really is noticeable, but we're not going to spend too much time on this. We also have a camera on here so we can actually see when we're actually taking off, or even throughout our flight, we can actually check out the camera. We got our flight maps. There's just so much information, so quick to access here. Then we have a table. We're just going to click that there, and we're just going to push this down, and out it comes, and it will fold. As you can see, that's a nice size table. I don't have my laptop here, unfortunately, but boy, it sure feels nice when it's all brand new. Here's the view that you get with the screen and the table, and where my feet are, way over there. So tons of room. I'm going to fold this back up. Then we come around to some of our storage areas. There's a little hook here that'd be good for headphones that are going to go there. We have Type-C USBs ×2 plus a 110 outlet. These are powerful enough to actually even power an actual laptop. So that's a big deal. You don't have to plug that huge brick in. I've got my camera here just to show you in reference how large this area is for your shelf. We have a controller for if you want to use the remote controller opposed to the screen. And then of course, check this out. We have a light that pops out. It's very, very nice here. Now these are all the colors that they're going with this warm-hearted type of design. But we've pressed this button. Oh, hello. There we go. Now, if you're traveling with someone, you can actually go and see them. If you don't want to talk to them, hey, bye-bye. That's it. And as we go here, we have our light system here. We have our do not disturb. If we don't want to be disturbed, we're sleeping. And of course, we need to lay this down. So if we actually hit the lie down, this is the important part. This is what people want when you're doing a transatlantic flight. It's going to go right all the way, as you can see. Now, compared to the regular signature class, I find that you ride up, it feels like you're riding higher on this. There we go. We're still going down. Holy smokes. Okay. Now you can see other things. Guess what? There's another USB-C right there. So I am 5'11" and my feet are not touching the end. But once again, it's the width. It has this cutout area for your shoulder. I can say this is definitely more comfortable width-wise, hands down, than the current signature class cabin. And if we want to go back into, let's say, a dining mode, we can put this back up. So check this out. Here we have wireless charging, and this actually swivels. You'll also notice that we do have a shoulder belt for your seat belt. Now this will actually disconnect from the top, so while you're in flight, you can remove the shoulder portion and just wear the lap portion. So it makes it a lot more comfortable. So there are 7 rows times 2 for the signature class on this XLR. So it's 14 seats on this plane right now. But so far I can say I'm very, very impressed. And for the people that say, okay, why isn't it facing the window? Well, we heard from Alex, but also, hey, I'm here, and guess what? I can see the window. I can see out here. It's not a problem. Not a problem at all. Now, for those not flying up front, guess what? There is still plenty of room in the back in economy. These are the preferred plus seats. There's 4 rows of these, plus some additional rows by the over the exit rows there. But if you look here, this is very, very comfortable. And this is a bulkhead too. So if you actually don't take the bulkhead, you even have, I'd say, more room. We have a 13-inch display on every single seat here, 4K there. And check this out. We can raise the headrest. We can fold it in. These recline nicely. And it seems like there is some decent thigh support. Pulling up the table, how is it? Pretty well standard on that respect for the bulkhead, but not all seats are bulkheads. So let's check out some other seats. Now let's go all the way in here just to give you an idea and show you. This is not a preferred plus seat. This is a regular economy seat. We have that 13-inch display that we talked about, but also there are a few other nice little items here. The tray table folds, so if you want a little extra room, you can still have a little indentation for your drink. We can fold that out, another indentation there. And if we fold this up, pull this also comes with a little shelf. So the bonus of this is you can take your phone and you can just place it right there, or maybe if you have a tablet, you can place that there as well. But yeah, but the biggest thing is room. How much room is there in the standard economy seat on this XLR? Because that's what you want to know. You're going to be sitting here for a long time. So right now the seat is not reclined, but I can fully extend my legs. My knees are not touching, and I have not reclined. If I recline all the way back, it doesn't overly recline. So I'm going to actually go and recline this seat here. Okay, so this would be the situation if someone reclined on me and it's still not actually touching my knees. And this is amazing. This seriously is amazing, and this is why it's important that they didn't over seat this plane. You also have a little coat hook here. Okay, check this out. Seriously, this is full on reclined. This is my knee room. Here's my foot room right there. Lots of room. And if I want to watch TV, I can actually tilt it a little bit to make it easier if that person has reclined their seat. We're in actually 16A right now, just to give you a little reference. So this would be the exit row, as we mentioned. So we have 2 rows of preferred plus for the exit row. And yeah, obviously you're going to get more leg room. It seems, hey, you want the most width. It really does look like this middle seat is going to be the one to get. So middle seat room here. Oh yeah, this is really good. This is really good. Now, does this seat fold back? No, this one doesn't recline too, so this is the money seat here, guys. It really is. So that would be the additional 2 rows of Preferred Plus on here. Another feature of this new cabin, it gets the brand new space bins. They are so deep. There is my 22-inch suitcase. It goes in no problem, but of course, it also goes in vertically, meaning you can actually have at least 4 suitcases this size up there. Just this week, I flew in Air Canada's A321, which is actually very good. You get Bluetooth audio, there are exterior cameras that you can watch, and it's quite comfortable, but it's obvious how much better this new cabin is in terms of the technology and the space. One difference I noticed though was on my earlier A321 flight, there was a mid-cabin lavatory and 2 in the rear and 1 in business class, so 4 total. This XLR doesn't have the mid-cabin lav and places all 3 economy lavatories in the back, which could have a little bit of disadvantage when it comes to meal service times when that meal cart is coming down the aisle.
We looked at how we can optimize the space and at the same time just like make sure we've got the right configuration for the customers. Now we've decided to have like the 3 lavs in the back because you've got sufficient lav availability for the number of packs here. You've got 1 lav in the front for the business class, and at the end you don't have people lining up in the middle of the cabin because we simply do not need that mid-lav cab.
Speaking of meal service, just because this is a smaller narrow body single row aircraft, passengers will not miss out on some of the signature class amenities, including a cappuccino machine.
That's something we've been working with our colleagues, in the in-flight department for a very long time. We wanted to make sure that the design of the cabin and the service, of the cabin will be consistent across all the fleet that we serve on transatlantic market, for example. If you're flying a 787 or flying an XLR, you want to make sure you get the same meal service, you get the same service from, like our fantastic crew. And that's something, that also was taken into account when it came to cabin configuration.
This new XLR's first transatlantic flight will be from Montreal to Toulouse, France, direct, which is really nice, and it's a big time saver not having to connect. Now, this is not a one-off. Air Canada has 30 of these A321 XLR planes on order, with 5 entering the fleet in 2026. So let's hope we can get on one of these brand new birds to finish our XLR trilogy. On the next video, we're headed behind the cockpit door to see what makes this latest generation Airbus fly, and also discover a few Easter eggs along the way. Like always, if you enjoyed this video or any content on the channel, I would really appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button. It's completely free, and it allows me to continue creating more content like this for you. Hope to see you on the next video. Bye.